Jewish groups and intellectuals have long advocated for multiculturalism. Diversity and race mixing in Western societies, while largely practicing endogamy or marriage within their own group. What are the logical effects and benefits of this dual approach? Let's analyze some of them. By promoting race mixing, integration, and multiculturalism for outgroups, Jewish communities continue to reinforce endogamy, religious education, and internal cultural norms that preserve a distinct Jewish identity across generations. At the same time, surrounding majority groups become more diverse and less unified, which benefits Jewish group cohesion. Preservation of Jewish identity and cohesion. Weakening of majoritarian opposition through fragmentation. When non-Jewish majority populations adopt multiculturalism and increased intermarriage, their group identity becomes fragmented and less likely to coalesce against minority interests. Promotion of diversity and anti-assimilation policies often leads to increased visibility for Jewish activists and organizations in government, academia, nonprofits, and media. As traditional non-Jewish majorities become less cohesive, their ability to enforce uniform social norms or target minorities for exclusion is reduced, guaranteeing ongoing Jewish autonomy and cultural continuity. This translates into increased access to resources, leadership positions, and platforms for shaping public policy. For example, as non-Jewish populations experience increased intergroup mixing and the erosion of traditional boundaries, many individuals struggle to maintain a clear sense of identity and heritage, making them more vulnerable to external influence. Decreased social trust. Fragmentation reduces social cohesion and trust, weakening the ability of the majority to organize effectively or advocate for shared interests. Internalized guilt or shame. Through persistent messaging in education, media, and policy, non-Jewish groups may internalize guilt for historical actions, leading to diminished self-confidence and a reduced willingness to assert their own interests. Fragmentation and anxiety. The loss of clear cultural expectations and social roles can produce anxiety, depression, and increased alienation, making large-scale resistance or civic participation less likely. Erosion of family and community stability. The weakening of extended family networks and traditional social institutions undermines the foundation of community life and intergenerational continuity. Jewish professionals and organizations are well represented in these sectors, furthering communal prosperity and influence. The outcomes include greater communal security, influence, and opportunity for Jewish populations, while the psychological and social costs, such as loss of identity and cohesion, are largely borne by the non-Jewish population. Criticism of their positions can be framed as intolerance or bigotry, reinforcing their influence and ability to steer social norms. Jewish communities, by remaining endogamous and distinct, avoid this loss of collective power, expansion of social, political, and economic influence, minimized risk of organized hostility. A fragmented multicultural majority is less able to mobilize coordinated opposition against minority groups, reducing the likelihood of widespread anti-Jewish backlash or exclusionary movements. Jewish security is thus enhanced in a diverse, less unified society. Economic and institutional opportunities. The growth of diversity-focused industries such as ethnic advocacy, diversity training, multicultural education creates new economic opportunities. Maintenance of moral authority and narrative control by advocating for tolerance and inclusion. Jewish spokespeople and organizations can occupy the moral high ground in public debates. Long-term security via majoritarian decline. In addition to these logical effects, there are also psychological effects on the target populations. In summary, Jewish groups and organizations benefit from promoting race mixing and multiculturalism for others, while maintaining endogamy within their own communities.
Hat tip to the White Rabbi. You can find a link to his X page as well as the link to the original document from which this video was made.